Okay, let's test the audio, test my face, test my voice. Testing hair. I don't think this hairdo is gonna make it through this class. It's okay. Don't look at the camera. Don't look at you. Does he look good? But look at the camera. Don't look at you. The skeleton wearing on a shampoo in the showers. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Okay, enough stalling. Let's do this. Hi and welcome to your 10 transformative tips to simplify your social media and 10x your marketing. I'm Jen, the business model. I'm the badass boss babe of Create Your Next Level. I've also been a world traveling content creator for the last 10 years and sort of by accident became quite the expert when it comes to marketing, branding, social media, email funnels, blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on. We'll get more into me later. I want to make sure that we focus on getting you these 10 tips to help you transform, simplify your social media, 10x your marketing, all that good stuff. Now, whether you yourself are the personal brand, or if you own a business, or you have a product or a service that you're out there trying to tell the world about, trying to get more sales, trying to just let people know why you are awesome, try to not say awesome too much, or badass. We'll pretend I have a bigger vocabulary. All these tips are going to be fabulous for you. How's that? Also, before we get started, so you know, doesn't matter what platform you're on, what platforms you use, what platforms you hate, what platforms you want to learn more about, these 10 tips are going to help you with your overall online marketing and can be used on any platform and should be used on every platform that you're utilizing. Okay, I think that's enough preliminaries. I'm going to be talking very fast because my goal was 10 tips, 1 minute a tip. You know, this should be a 10-minute video. That's not going to happen, guys. I'm sorry. I have so much that I love to share. So I'm going to do my best to talk really fast, give you a lot of great information. Feel free to take notes, watch this video multiple times because this is a free masterclass that I am bringing to you. So no need to not watch it again and again and get the most out of it. And I hope it brings a lot of value to you. So let's get started. So silly. I'm smiling so big. It's so I really like this stuff. Maybe just because I'm really good at it. So I really like talking about it. All right, tip number 1. Optimize your bio. This is going to go, again, for any platform that you're on. You have a finite amount of characters that are allowed in your bios on any platform. And it's really important then to get the most out of it. Remember, people see you and meet you online and in person, but we're talking online specifically, and make a decision immediately. It's like 1/10 of a second that they make a decision whether or not they like you, whether or not they want to learn more. So some things to avoid. Do not have what I call the Tinder boy bio that says like, hey, sup? If you have any questions, just ask. I hate that. Also not my favorite is what I call the girl from high school bio, where it's just like a list of emojis and adjectives like mother, teacher, mermaid, dog mom, you know, whatever they are. Also avoiding what I would call the Sound of Music bio, where you're just listing some of your favorite things. I like beer, I like food, I like dogs. Like, yeah, who doesn't? Who doesn't like these things? That is not an effective use of your bio. What your bio should include is what I'm calling the 5 W's. We need to know who you are, what you do, who you help, and where we can find more information about you. This one's really important. This is also called a call to action, or a CTA. And we're gonna talk a lot more about that in a future tip. And the 5th W, all 5, who you are, what you do, who you help, where we find more, and why you do it. Now, this 5th W isn't so important to get into the bio. Again, we have like a finite amount of characters, so that might be a little trickier to get in there. If you can, do it. But what really matters is that 5th W, the why you do what you do. That's your foundation. That's important for you to know. That's something that's going to come out in everything that you do. The more rooted and attached you are to why you are doing what you do, the more that's going to show through in all of your online presence. You'll notice my trademark is the type of, you'll notice my trademark. This is the first tip. This isn't a good start. You'll notice my trademark is to talk a lot about mindset along with marketing. We'll talk more about it later. But very important that why, even if it doesn't make it into your bio, that you know. Trying to fit all 5 of these W's into your bio can kind of end up sounding unnatural and cheesy. But to be honest, if it sounds like an elevator sales pitch, that's better than them not knowing anything about you. Try to have fun with it and try to let your personality come through as much as possible too. And so you know, and this goes for anything I'm about to share with you, marketing, just like life, is this never-ending experiment. I change mine up all the time to what feels more natural, or thinking, oh, I could fit this in here better, expressing what it is that I do and why. That's your little bonus tip. Marketing is never set in stone. Even for the billionaire companies making billions of dollars, they're always switching things up. Like, look at Geico. How many fucking mascots do they have? They keep, and they make so much money. So Never be afraid to continue trying something new. Tip number 2, you're going to create consistency across all platforms, across everything you create, all of your content. There should be consistency throughout. This is also called branding. This doesn't mean that your profiles in every platform needs to be exactly identical, but that is helpful. In fact, sometimes I find certain people because I friended them on Facebook, and then I find them on Instagram just because they have the same profile picture, but they don't have like the same username, which makes it a nightmare to try to find them. So as much as possible, creating that consistency. Take 45 minutes, whatever it is, to go through and create consistency on every platform that you're on. Now, branding is something that I talk a lot more about inside my free ebook, The 3 C's of Social Media Success. The 3 C's of Social Media Success. You can guess that one of those C's is consistency. Also, branding is something that I deep dive into inside my Ready, Set, Badass course. But essentially, branding I break down into 3 components. That is the visual, how everything looks, the colors, the font, the logo, the profile photo, all the visual components. The voice, you might be, writing a slightly different bio on LinkedIn than you would on Facebook. But overall, what is the voice? What is the vocabulary that you use when speaking about yourself and your badass business? It should be pretty clear, no matter what platform somebody's on, that that voice is still you, that there's consistency in those posts. Some ways that the voice of my brand and my business is consistent, you'll notice that I sometimes fucking swear, and I don't even hear it. I don't know. That's kind of something. Apparently, I'm known for that. I'm always talking about building your business from the foundation, so you're going to see that as part of the voice and my vocabulary on any platform where you encounter me. It's already come up. I always talk about mindset and marketing, never separately, but working together. You might have noticed I call myself a badass quite a bit. I think that's pretty ballsy for somebody with as permanent a dork face as I have, but it's pretty true. Also, it's my voice because I keep things pretty informal. That's sort of the point, is me bringing marketing and making it understandable, approachable, easy to access extension of what it is that you're already doing for your business. Little bonus secret with the voice: avoid jargon. Unless you're a doctor talking to other doctors, don't assume that everybody reading understands doctor. Does that make sense? Basically, any lingo that's specific to your industry that isn't common knowledge, you want to avoid that. You'll notice I'm doing that as I'm going through this masterclass with you, where I'm breaking down what is a CTA instead of just assuming that you know what the fuck that is. Another example, the words that you write with your content online is also called copywriting. There's a little jargon for you. And it's essential that you're not just writing, you're copywriting. You're writing in a way that sells, and is really important to not just the voice of your business, but the effectiveness of your marketing, which is why inside the Ready, Set, Badass course, I have a whole week that we spend working on the copywriting and writing in a way that feels natural, authentic, that has a genuine voice to you, and isn't just about being that cheesy or that icky sort of salesy sort of stuff that none of us really like. And it also doesn't really work anymore either. Sharing what you do should feel good. So we have the visuals, we have the voice or your copywriting, and we also have the vibe. When I take a look at your branding, when I take a look at your business online, what's the feel of it? What's the vibe? Like what is stirred up in me? Do I feel like, ooh, all like peaceful and calm, or feminine, or powerful, or jazzed up, or yeah, bro? Do I feel like lifting something when I look at your content? What is the vibe that you want other people? What's that reputation that you're cultivating? When people think about your brand, if I say McDonald's, you just saw red and yellow, right? You 100% did. You probably went ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like that's all intentional. They've intentionally created a consistent brand using the visuals, using the voice, and using the vibe of that branding. So tip number 2 is consistency. Feel good? Let's keep going. Oh, I forgot. Also, when it comes to your branding, you can also check out my Badass Freebies library. I have a blank branding board that you can download that you can use to map out all the visual components of your brand. Super helpful. I made one too. You'll find it inside the library so you get a good example. And that's just a free download, so go check that out. Transformative tip number 3, Google yourself. It's not a euphemism. Go online. Actually go into Google and type you in, whether it's you personally, or it's the name of your brand or your business, or all 3. Go take a look. This is really effective and just alerting you, bringing awareness to what your blind spots may be in your marketing. I've been a content creator for 10 years and like I said, accidentally became really good at this shit. If I go Google my modeling name, the first 10 pages are all me. That's a little complicated. I did a very good job at making sure that I show up in this search engine. This is called SEO. Search engine optimization, and is about intentionally posting and writing in such a way and organizing content and adding in metadata, which is like pro tip that we would get into more in a different course inside my Ready Set Badass program, so that you're appearing in the search results more and more. Because of course, you know, like there's 10 pages of me. Do you think anybody ever makes it to page 10? Like, who doesn't just click on the first link that comes up? But really pay attention. Do you like the results that are showing up? Are they even showing up? And what can you be doing? Essentially, we're working backwards. What can you be doing to make sure that you're popping up in Google more? Also, don't just limit yourself to Google. Basically, every platform anymore is considered its own search engine. YouTube, for example, has been tied with Google for years as far as being a top used search engine. But now TikTok is actually the one at the top. More people go to TikTok to look for that than they do on Google. So Google, whatever it is your expertise is, whatever your brand name is, whatever it is that you do, go Google that inside every platform. I'm saying Google. Go search for that, you know what I mean, inside every platform that you're on and see what those results are. This is really good information for you moving forward. If you check out my Badass Business Blueprint, or if you hire me and my team to make one for you, you'll notice this is a very vital step, and it's from gathering this information that we outline not just where you are, but where you want to go and the steps you need to take to get there. So take a look with your search results, what needs to change for those to be better. We want you at number 1, baby. Little bonus tip, this is vital for your organic traffic, your organic marketing, meaning any traffic that you're getting that you're not paying for people to encounter you organically. You need to be optimizing those search engine results. Number 4, post great content. You might guess that this is another one of the C's inside my free ebook, The 3 C's of Social Media Success. Go download that later. When I think about great content, I think about this quote from this guy named Potter Stewart, who was a Supreme Court Justice in the 50s and 60s. And he said, "I may not be able to define it, but I'll know it when I see it." Now granted, he was talking about pornography, but I feel like this is true for all of us when it comes to content online. As you're scrolling through your Instagram feed, you know what pops out as great content and what doesn't. Even if you don't have the words for it, you can see it. You can see what kind of content speaks to you and engages you and gets you to stay and read and like. I think the most important question to ask yourself when it comes to assessing your own content is to take a step back and ask yourself, do I like this content? Would I like these posts? If I were my ideal client, would I want to follow this page? Does this speak to me? How is the branding? How is the visuals? How is the voice? How is the vibe? Are these things that pull me in? Or is it just that? I think really what matters most is if your content jazzes you up. When I go and I look at my stuff, I'm like, I don't even care sometimes if anybody else likes this. Like, of course I do because I'm human. But that's not where my focus is. I'm like, I like this. I did a really good job with this. And the right people who are meant to find me, they're going to agree. If your content kind of sucks, fix it. Take a course, do a Google search, find some tips, get a better camera, whatever it is. Not every piece needs to be a masterpiece. And in fact, you can kind of go the opposite direction where if your content looks too good all the time, it might look like advertisements, but is it content that speaks to your brand and communicates the way that you'd like it to? If not, go do the work. Or, come hang out with me inside the Simplified Social Media Accountability community, and we'll roundtable it. We'll give you feedback on what could be better about your content. So go out there, fix it. Really, when it comes to consistency, what's more important than consistently posting is consistently posting good content. I would rather that you post 3 times a week and it's great versus you're posting 3 times a day and it's garbage. That's going to be more beneficial to you. Creating great content also includes the copywriting that's part of that. So don't go spending 3 days making an Instagram reel and then completely belly flop when it comes to the caption on that reel. The goal with every caption should still be to include those 5 W's as well as that very important CTA, that call to action. Look at you keeping up with all my jargon, huh? Copywriting, call to action, CTA, branding. This is going really good. Okay, let's move on. Tip number 5, stop comparing. They say that comparison is the thief of joy, and it is 100% true. I have had years of my joy stolen by me stucking in this mindset of comparison. My whole content creating life, I've been out there modeling. So not only am I out there comparing my success and my work to other people, but I'm also comparing it to like literally my friends or some of the hottest, most talented people on the planet. Even though I was out there and I was chasing my dreams and I was living this reality of traveling the world, I'm doing these shoots and I'm acting and I'm modeling and all these things that I always dreamed of, I would hop on Instagram and I would get so depressed. I would get so down on myself because I was comparing my work to other people, not just like me physically, which is already something we do as humans, but now how many likes I'm getting, how many followers I have, what kinds of magazines are publishing me. And it really sucked all the joy out of doing something that I'd always dreamed of because I was stuck in this comparison mindset. So let me just give you a few quick back to badass weapons that you can use anytime you find yourself stuck in this comparison mindset too. When you're looking at others and you start finding yourself comparing or even getting jealous, remember, anything possible for them is also possible for you. When you catch yourself saying, oh, I wish I had, I wish I could, flip that into what could I be doing right now to achieve that too? Be intentional with your online time. Make sure that you're following accounts that inspire and motivate you. If you catch yourself just there doom scrolling and feeling shittier and shittier about yourself as you are, clearly dumping on you is not the way to create the badass business and the badass life that you dream of, right? That is not a badass way to be. If you find anything in your feed that doesn't inspire you, toss it. Also, I had to intentionally take a break for a long time where maybe I was posting, but I really wasn't following anybody else because I was just like so caught up in it that opening up my friend's Instagram account was like triggering for me. I was like, why do I suck? So I had to go take a break and go work on myself and my self-love and then come back with a fresh mindset. Focus on the numbers that matter. This comes up all the time with literally every person that I talk about. Like so often am I preaching this and teaching this. Focus on the numbers that matter. I don't care if you only have 400 followers. If you have 400 followers and 10% of them are engaging and 10% of that 10%, so 1% of your 400 followers is buying from you each month, you have 4 people buying a $1,000 product, that's $4,000 a month with 400 followers. That's way better than having 40,000 followers and no sales. Remember, it's always, always, always quality over quantity. Always, in all things that you do. And if you're following me and my tips and you're cultivating an audience that is excited about what you offer, that is a good connection for you, that is aligned with your ideal client, then you don't need as many followers. It's not about how many followers you have. It's about how many of your followers have you. And if you're already implementing 5 tips now that we've already gone through, you've already 10x, at least 10x, your ability to have this quality followers. This is about creating your next level, baby. And it starts with that foundation, which we've kind of already talked about this, but moving on into step number 6, check your mindset. I've mentioned this a couple times, right? I really do believe that with the right tools and the right mindset, anything is possible. I can give you all the tools in the world, but if your mindset's not on board, what good does that do? And same goes in reverse. You could have a very positive mindset, but no tools available and no knowledge and no skills. And so you're kind of in the same place. Kind of like the better of the two, but still neither of those are going to get you to creating that next level. I actually have up here on my whiteboard over here, I have a quote written up from Jim Rohn that says, work twice as hard on yourself as you do your business. And I absolutely 100% believe that's true, which is why I teach mindset and marketing. I am always with myself and with my students putting twice as much work into the mindset as we are the marketing. Better marketing flows from that. So if your personal belief is that social media is irreparably evil, that it's the downfall of society, but yet you're on social media every day trying to grow your business, how does that work out? I prefer to look at social media as an awesome and optional tool. Do I like everything about it? No. But is there anything in the world that I like everything about? Do you like peaches? Well, they also have a pit. Are we gonna throw away peaches because we think the pit is evil? I'm pretty sure like apple seeds have arsenic in them, but we didn't ban all apples. When you're being intentional in where you're showing up online and you're intentionally engaging in certain ways and you're showing up with a mindset that's beneficial to you, social media really can be an awesome and still optional tool. There's thousands of businesses that succeed without social media, and I'm happy to share more with you about that at a later time, about ways that you can be more successful offline. But today we're talking about 10 tips for something, 10xing your online something. You remember. A quick example of the tools without the mindset is if I give you a list every week of like, these are the top hashtags on Twitter you need to be using, but every time you're showing up and you're tweeting these things and your mindset still says, I suck, I don't want to be seen, I don't know that I'm worth what I'm charging, I feel overwhelmed, is this really what I want to be doing? You know, like if your mindset isn't right, it doesn't matter how good these hashtags are, this isn't beneficial to you. And sharing a little bit more on the importance of mindset, I really think you can take it from me because I remember being in middle school and finding the self-help section of the library, and I was like, I can help myself. This is so exciting. This is something that I take very seriously, and I have invested literally tens of thousands of dollars in all kinds of things as far as working on my mindset. So find what works for you. I've learned EFT, I do meditation, I've done the most woo-woo things you can imagine. I went to the jungles and I did ayahuasca. Like, I am all over the board. Tapping, hypnosis, daily affirmations, journaling, working with mentors. I 100% invest not just in my marketing, but in my mindset too. I think it's the most impactful thing you can have in your life. Very easy little switch that you could do for this is having an attitude of gratitude. I know it sounds super cheesy, but every time you open up your Instagram or whatever it is, just say like 3 things that you're grateful for. Like the fact that this even exists, that you're able to promote your business to legit strangers, the reach that we all have. We don't all have to have marketing degrees. We don't all have to have budgets to get on the radio or the newspaper or do skywriting. Like, we have ways to tell others about what we do and why we do it and how we do it and who we do it for and all those good things, those 5 W's, for free. Of all the tips I give you today, that one might be the most transformative. Lucky tip number 7, this one's very important for you, is to start small. The reason all these tips that I'm sharing work and will work on any platform is that they are foundational. When it's foundational, it's kind of like a trickle up effect, right? We'll get into that more later. It is so much more effective for you to master one thing and grow from there than to spread yourself thin and start trying to do all the things, all the platforms, be in all the places at the same time. Especially if you don't have that strong foundation set up for you first. Basically, you gotta walk before you can crawl, right? No, that's wrong, flip that. It sounds better this way, but you know what I mean. Sharing a little more on like the importance of starting small and building that foundation. Half my life ago, back when I was in college, I was a personal trainer because I learned like you can make a lot of money that way and I can make my own schedule that way, and it really appealed to me. So I guess even before the modeling, I've always kind of like worked for myself. But I actually really sucked at personal training. One, because I never did it. I was in college, I was eating pizza and taking gravity bonds. I wasn't the type that was working out. I had the knowledge, okay, let's get that clear. The big way I sucked at it is essentially as a personal trainer, most of your money, at least where I was working, came from commissions off the supplements. You were really supposed to push these supplements onto the members at the gym and your training clients to make more money. I didn't feel comfortable doing that because I knew until that client started small, they built that strong foundation of getting enough sleep, eating good food, coming to the gym 3 times a week. Until they'd mastered the I just apologized like I actually knocked into you. Sorry, invisible audience. I appreciate you being here. Until they had mastered those basics, it didn't matter how many supplements I gave them. And I'm using supplements really loosely. It was basically crack pills, right? It was like diet pills because everybody wants like that instant, give me the hashtags, give me the latest thing that's gonna make my video go viral. How do I make my video go viral? Well, are you even posting good videos? Do you even know why you're doing what you're doing? Like, have you mastered the basics of copywriting? Like, where's your foundation here? Before you start trying to add a magic pill on top that's gonna get you like these instant results. That honestly, if you haven't mastered the basics, if you haven't mastered your foundation, going viral before you have that set in place, it's just going to crumble. I always like to say the deeper your foundation, the bigger an empire you can build. This is about creating your next level, and then from there creating the next level after that, and then from there creating the next level after that. It never stops. There will always be a next level that we're looking to create. And if we're 20 levels up and we discover, oh, we didn't deal with this stuff back when we should have, guess what's gonna happen? It's all gonna come crumbling down. You've seen it, I've seen it dozens of times. People who look like they achieved some kind of success, but they really didn't have this mastered. They're overwhelmed, they're stressed out, they're burnt out, they're spread too thin, and it all collapses. They didn't have that strong foundation to begin with. I also call this the Swiss cheese method. So imagine if your business was like a piece of cheese and you just have you have all these different little holes and you're just trying to fix them one by one, these little holes in your business. Versus every time I go through, we start in the same all-encompassing process of starting at the foundation, building improvements and cohesiveness throughout the entire business. Throughout all 12 steps in 12 weeks of the Ready, Set, Badass program, that's what we're doing. No Swiss cheese. Like I said, this tip really is for you, but I've experienced this as well. I've been a solopreneur. When I was traveling the world, I wore all the hats. I booked all the shoots. I booked all the travel. I did all the sales calls and the cold emails and the researching and the bookings and the flights and the cars and then the content creation and then the posting and the organizing, the blogs and the YouTubes and the vlogs and the SEO and the website building, the email. I did it all and I got burnt the fuck out. And I absolutely know it'd be more effective to start small and grow than to try to be on all platforms at once. So please, for me, give yourself permission to start small. Give yourself permission to take time to grow and to know that it's happening, that growth happens. There's that wonderful Darren Hardy book, right, who's one of my mentors too, The Compound Effect. And it'll be better for you in the long run, I promise. I also have a little bonus tip for you. There are legitimately billions of people on the planet and millions of people on any single one platform. You can reach your next level in your success by focusing on just one platform, I promise. Master these other tips first, master the 3 C's of social media success, and then as you're able, start building, start expanding, start scaling your business. You're gonna see better results more efficiently with a better mental state through it too, and reach that point a lot quicker where you're able to scale and bring other people on that are able to help you. This also makes it easier for you to hire. It's a lot easier to go out and hire a good copywriter if you yourself have invested the time and the energy in learning what good copywriting looks like. So that's my first bonus tip here, is you can be successful on any singular platform, but ideally make it the best platform for you. When I talk about social media in my 12-week program, it's the 4 step. Like first we talk about our goals, then we talk about our branding, then we talk about who our ideal client is. We get all these other things figured out and very clear first before we even start talking about social media, because all those things really matter as far as the decision of where you should be online. Take a look at my Badass Business Blueprint in the freebies library if that interests you. How funny that my tip about starting small is like my longest tip so far. This is the biggest one. Okay, bonus tip number 2. There is no set formula for success. Anybody who's out there saying like you just need XYZ and then to do XYZ, maybe that worked for them, maybe it'll work for you, but for each person, success is a personal definition. So be sure that you're really clear on what success looks like for you. If success for you looks like spending less time on social media, and yet you're following somebody that's telling you how to make 3 TikToks a day, and that you need to do this, and then you need to engage, you need to do these live streams, so you're doing these things that somebody says you need to do to be successful, but you're literally miserable doing it, that isn't success for you. So part of being a badass, part of creating your badass life and biz, is defining success for you and being confident and true to that. Some people, their version of success is a big house and a white picket fence and the kids and the dogs and whatever else. My version of success involves being able to pick up my laptop and go anywhere I want at a moment's notice, because it feels like it, because I want to be there for my friend or I missed the beach, whatever it is. So for my version of success, Wi-Fi is required. But make sure you get clear on what success looks like for you. I really need to shut up about this tip, but start small, build a strong foundation, and grow from there, please. Like I said, the stronger that foundation, the bigger your badass empire. Okay, are we ready to move on? We're almost to the end. Tip number 8, grow your community. I really hope you've been getting a lot out of this so far, by the way. It's called social media for a reason. Go out and be social on it. No one-way streets. Posting and praying that you have the right hashtags, you're just going to wake up with 1 million new followers and they're also going to be the ideal people to buy from you, isn't necessarily effective. I know basically nobody that's happened with. It's so important when we're talking about quality over quantity, you want to build genuine connections. If you have 400 followers, you should be able to go through that followers list and really know these people. If you really truly love and believe in what you do, then it doesn't feel weird to go and talk about it and share it with others and offer your help genuinely. If you get really clear on why you do what you do and who you help, why you want to help them, these genuine connections comes easily. Also important, I like to share that there's 3 different tiers within your building your community. You have those who are going to buy from you, those that you want to collaborate with, that are on your level, that are going through the same celebrations and struggles that you are, like everybody inside my simplified social media accountability community. And then you have your community, the level of your community of the people that you aspire to be, your mentors, your teachers, those that inspire you, that educate you, that motivate you, that give you something that you look forward to. And it's very important to make sure that you're focusing on all 3. I mentioned earlier the power of working together, right? Maybe that was a different video. Hold on. I've been filming stuff all day. That might have been inside the community. Okay, the beauty of a community is that we're more powerful together. But you can't just have people that like you're here like working to like, you can't have your social circles just be other people at the same level of you. You also need those individuals who are going to buy from you and the people at the next level that you want to learn from. So make sure you're making those connections in all 3 categories intentionally. You'll notice too, I haven't once said competitors. I don't believe in competitors. Eliminate your competitors by making everybody a collaborator. Even others who teach social media and branding, those are some of my best friends, and sometimes we find cool things to do together. Also, it's like great. I talk about this like being a model. It's very rare that you have more than one model in the same room. Like we're kind of always traveling and like one-on-one. So when a group of us models gets together, it's so nice because it's like, oh my God, you understand. Like I can talk to you, you know what I'm going through. There's that beautiful camaraderie. Eliminate competitors, embrace a world full of collaborators. And if you don't have that yet, you know where to find me and the other badass creators inside my simplified social media accountability community. I'm proud of myself for how many times I've said that without fucking it up. A lot of words. Last thing I'm gonna say about community. This doesn't just go for online. In person too. It's okay if that's not your comfort zone. Go out there and get comfortable. And then once you're comfortable with that, go do something else, just like at the gym. It's always gonna be hard because you're always gonna be increasing the weight, right? Push yourself to go out there. I have made more connections in one networking event in all 3 categories than I did through 300 Instagram posts. I've shared this in one of my top reels on Instagram, is that if you aren't excited to talk about what you do, why would anybody else be? So go out there and share, connect, make communities. And this is coming from somebody, by the way, huge introvert. I might go to one networking event, but then I need like 3 weeks in my home doing nothing. But you might not believe me, and that's fine, because I wouldn't ever post just videos of like the 3 weeks of me sitting at home. You'll only see the posts about me out and traveling. But I actually took my nephews to this networking event, and I was like, and what would you tell them your aunt does? And my 4-year-old nephew / bestie, he goes, you don't do anything. You just sit in your room all day? And I gotta say, that made me feel so good. I was like, exactly. That's auntie. Also, go out and make these connections in the real world and then follow up with them online. Build your online community by meeting people IRL, in the real world. Sorry, IRL stands for in real life. You get it. I've got 2 more transformative tips for you, and number 9 is get conceited. I kind of just talked about this, right? You gotta be your own biggest cheerleader. You gotta have Kanye level confidence in what you are doing and why you are doing it and why you love it. You don't need to have his arrogance or his ignorance. People follow that confidence. That's what brings people in. It's not about what you're posting, so as you know, that's important, but as who the person is that's posting it, and do you believe in you? How is anybody else going to believe in you and buy from you if you don't believe in you? Get conceited. Find your confidence. Find your mojo. This is going to be the biggest, most impactful thing you can do when it comes to not only talking about you and your offers, but offering the sale, making money, which is another area that people are so uncomfortable with doing. And like, that's the whole reason we're online anyway, right? Is to tell people about our business and make more money. And that's a whole nother masterclass talking about our money mindset and our hangups there. But it all starts with that confidence in you. 2 steps I can give you to instantly boosting your confidence: know your strengths, own them, get clear on them, and embrace and work on your weaknesses. If you're really not good at showing up as the face of your brand, start practicing, start taking selfies. I've been modeling, and maybe you can't tell right now on camera, but I've been practicing my poses in the mirror since I was like 4 years old. It takes practice and or workarounds. Maybe you build a brand that you don't have to be the face of it. It comes from that awareness of what are your strengths and digging deep into those, and what are your weaknesses and working on them. When you do those two things, it's very easy to show up confidently. For example, my strength is I can show up on camera. Clearly, I can just talk for hours. I feel like I don't even have to turn my brain on. I just, this is a strength of mine. I can be very confident in saying, I am able to help you with your marketing and your social media. I'm very confident in saying, oh, you need some help? You should hire me. You should come work with me. You should come get inside my community. I have excellent tools and resources for you. That doesn't even feel weird to me because I know it. If you offer a product or a service and you know it's the best out there, own that. And you're like, oh, but like my sales skills aren't that great. All right, work on them. Get somebody else to do it for you. The first step was identifying that, and that's really important. Which brings us to our last tip, finally. There's no such thing as a quick freebie with me. My Badass Business Blueprint, which is like a quick freebie download that you're supposed to be able to do to go through your business on your own, like these 12 steps. It's 40 pages, but it's all so good. Go check it out. I did this for you, and also because I seem to not be able to help it. Tip number 10, be willing to invest in yourself. You know, we talked about your community and the 3 different levels there and the people that you look up to and you admire. There isn't a single person in there whose success you admire and aspire to that hasn't invested in their skills, in their mindset, in their health, in their business. I think a lot of people get scared about investing because what they hear is risk. My personal belief, though, is that if you're investing, this isn't like the stock market. You're investing in yourself and your own skills. You're investing in your health and your mindset and your business. The only real risk is that if it doesn't go the way you think it might, but those skills get transferred later in a different way in your life. Like, there really is no risk. The only risk is a learning lesson. You have to be willing to invest some time, some energy, some money. Be brave enough to see that while this might be a big investment now, the payoff down the road is worth it. Investing in yourself really does take a certain type of person. It takes a badass. It's always a little nerve-wracking, but also exciting. That's a growth mindset. That's the type of person who's really going to create their next level. Take all these tips that I just did and go apply them. You've already invested this hour with me. That's a big deal. A friend of mine who runs a marketing company, her name is Vanessa, the marketing model, which is funny because Jen, the business model. Definitely go follow her too. She said, stopping your advertising to save money is like stopping your clock to save time. Which this isn't me like proposing you go invest a lot in advertising. That's not something I teach until the last weeks of my 12-week program because, again, the foundation. You want to nail your organic marketing before we get into paid advertising. But once you're there, the point of investing money in advertising, and again, I'm just using this as an example. Say you put $300 in, but it's so that you get $3,000 back. Everything that comes back, like you might invest some money and not get anything from it, and guess what? You didn't just waste that money. You spent that money learning something. So either way, there's a payout. You might invest in a social media manager, which costs you $1,200 a month, but how much time did you just free up that you're now able to focus on the production or the connections or the services or whatever it is as part of your business? You might be able to raise your rates now because you're able to give more quality time to your clients because you're not doing your social media. The point I'm trying to make here is that if you really want to succeed, you have to be the type of person that's willing to invest in you. If you have goals, and if you're here, if you're still here and you're still listening, I'm sure you have some badass goals and dreams. What's your plan to get there? If you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, uninspired, spread thin, be willing to invest in yourself. Be willing to invest in getting the guidance and support that you need. Whether that's just time, like the hour that you spent here in a free web class, or that's money, or that's energy, be willing to invest that for those payoffs for you to create that next level because I believe in you. Okay, I kind of got goosebumps because I was like, that was really personal for a second. Those are your 10 totally transformative tips to simplify your social media and 10x your marketing. I hope you really enjoyed that. If you're still watching, clearly you got some value out of this. That makes me so happy to hear. Also, if you're still watching, you might kind of like me. I don't know. That's okay. I kind of like you too. By which I mean, if you like my style, you like my vibe, you like how I teach, you like how I break these things down for you, I would love to be there to help you in creating your next level. Absolutely, check out all the links below. I mentioned a few of them. I have a badass freebies library. I have my simplified social media accountability community, which is an affordable option to get in and collaborate and learn and get some time and feedback, as well as master classes with me. If you're on this page, I have a special offer to get into that community. I also offer brand and business consulting, making that badass business blueprint for you, or putting together the team to completely make over your online presence, as well as teaching you the coaching and the mindset and the tools to help you create your next level. And then my signature course / program is the 12-week Ready Set Badass program, where every week we get into our mindset, we get into our marketing, and then you do have the option to add in coaching with me. So thank you. I really do believe that with the right tools and the right mindset, anything is possible. Like I said, I believe in you. If you're still here, that means you're a badass too, because cool people don't hang out with anybody that isn't, right? If you're still here, clearly we're meant to hang out. But be sure, check out the links below, and you can follow me at Jin, J-I-N, the business model on Instagram. I look forward to getting to know you, having you a part of my community, and I want to hear from you how these tips transform your social media for you. And if you look into the Ready Set Badass course, you'll see there are ways to get in touch with my badass empowerment team. We'd love to answer any questions you have, and I'd love to see you there. All right, thank you. My stomach's growling. I'm ready for a drink. This is, ironically, this has been sitting here this whole time. I'm gonna have a shot of Jaeger. Cheers to creating our next level. It's like medicine. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Go out, create your next level. Go chase those badass dreams. Build the badass life and biz you're dreaming of. I believe in you. Thank you.